Thomas Hardy, 1840 to 1928. She to him. When you shall see me in the toils of time, my lauded beauties carried off from me, my eyes no longer stars as in their prime, my name forgot of maiden fair and free. When in your being heart concedes to mine, and judgment, though you scarce its process know, recalls the excellencies I once enshrined, and you are irked that they have withered so. Remembering mine, the loss is not the blame, that sportsman time but rears his brood to kill. Knowing me in my soul, the very same, one who would die to spare you touch of ill, will you not grant to old affection's claim the hand of friendship down life's sunless hill? Thoughts of Fina at news of her death. Not a line of her writing have I, not a thread of her hair, no mock of her late time as dame in her dwellings, whereby I may picture her there. And in vain do I urge my unsight to conceive my lost prize. At her close whom when her dreams were upbrimming with light, and with laughter her eyes. What scenes spread around her last days, sad, shining, or dim? Did her gifts and compassions enray and enarch her sweet ways with an aureate nim? Or did life light decline from her years, and mischances control her full day star, unease or regret, or forebodings or fears, disennoble her soul? Thus I do but the phantom retain of the maiden of yore, as my relic, yet haply the best of her, find in my brain, it may be the more, that no line of her writing have I, nor a thread of her hair, no mark of her late time as dame in her dwelling, whereby I may picture her there. I need not go. I need not go through sleet and snow to where I know she waits for me. She will tarry me there till I find it fair and have time to spare from company. When I've overgot the world somewhat, when things cost not such stress and strain, is soon enough by Cyprus saw to tell my love I am come again. And if some day, when none cries nay, I still delay to seek her side, though ample measure of fitting leisure await my pleasure, she will not chide. What, not upbraid me, that I delayed me, nor ask what stayed me so long? Ah, no. New cares may claim me, new loves inflame me. She will not blame me, but suffer it so. The Ruined Maid. O 'Melia, my dear, this does everything crown. Who could have supposed I should meet you in town? And whence such fair garments, such prosperity? Oh, didn't you know I'd be ruined? Said she. You left us in tatters, without shoes or socks, tired of digging potatoes and spudding up docks. And now you've gay bracelet and bright feathers 3. Yes, that's how we dress when we're ruined, said she. At home in the barton you said thee and thou, and thick un and theas un and t'other, but now you're talking quite fitsy for high company. Some polish is gained with one's ruined, said she. Your hands were like paws then, your face blue and bleak, but now I'm bewitched by your delicate cheek, and your little gloves fit as on any lady. We never do work when we're ruined, said she. You used to call home life a hag-ridden dream, and you'd sigh and you'd sock, but at present you seem to know naught of megrims or melancholy. True, one's pretty lively when ruined, said she. I wish I had feathers, a fine sweeping gown, and a delicate face, and could strut about town. My dear, a raw country girl, such as you be, cannot quite expect that. You ain't ruined, said she. In Tenebris. Considerabum ad dexteram et videabum et non erat quae cognoscerit me, nonesque requirat animam meam. Psalm 141. When the cloud-swollen blossoms echo back the shouts of the many and strong, that things are all as best may be, save a few to be right ere long, and my eyes have not the vision in them to discern what to these is so clear, the blot seems straightway in me one better he were not here. The stout upstanders say, all's well with us, rulers have naught to rue. And what the potents say so oft, can it fail to be somewhat true? Breezily go they, breezily come, their dust smokes around their career, till I think I am one born out of due time, who has no calling here. Their dawns brings lusty joys, it seems, their evenings all that is sweet. Our times are blessed times, they cry, life shapes it as is most meet. And nothing is much the matter, there are many smiles to a tear. Then what is the matter, is I say, why should such an one be here? Let him in whose ears the low-voiced best is killed by the clash of the first, who holds that if way to the better there be, it exacts a full look at the worst, who feels that delight is a delicate growth, cramped by crookedness, custom, and fear. Get him up and begone as one shaped awry, he disturbs the order here. On the departure platform, we kissed at the barrier, and passing through, she left me, and moment by moment got smaller and smaller, until to my view she was but a spot, a wee white spot of muslin fluffed, that dawn the diminishing platform bore, through hustling crowds of gentle and rough, to the carriage door. Under the lamplight's fitful glowers, behind dark groups from far and near, whose interests were apart from ours, she would disappear. Then show again, till I ceased to see that flexible form, that nebulous white, and she who was more than my life to me had vanished quite. We have penned new plans since that fair fond day, and in season she will appear again, perhaps in the same soft white array, but never as then. And why, young man, must eternally fly? A joy you'll repeat, if you love her well. O friend, naught happens twice thus. Why? I cannot tell. A Church Romance. Mellstock, circa 1835. She turned in the high pew, until her sight swept the west gallery and caught its row of music men with viol, book, and bow against the sinking sad tower window light. She turned again, and in her pride's despite, one strenuous viol's inspirer seemed to throw a message from his string to her below, which said, I claim thee as my own forthright. Thus their hearts' bond began, in due time signed, and long years thence, when age and scarred romance, at some old attitude of his or glance, that gallery scene would break upon her mind, with him as minstrel ardent, young, and trim, bowing new Sabbath or Mount Ephraim. Channel firing. That night your great guns unawares shook all our coffins as we lay, and broke the chancel window squares. We thought it was the judgment day, and sat upright, while drearisome arose the howl of awakened hounds. The mouse let fall the altar crumb, the worms drew back into the mounds. The gleb cow drooled till God called no, its gunnery patience out at sea. Just as before you went below, the world is as it used to be. All nations striving strong to make red war yet redder, mad as hatters. They do no more for the Christes' sake than you are, who helpless in such matters. That this is not the judgment hour, for some of them a blessed thing, for if it were they'd have to scour hell's floor for so much threatening. Ha ha! It would be warmer when, I blow the trumpet, if indeed I ever do, for you are men, and rest eternal sorely need. So down we lay again. I wonder, will the world ever saner be? Said one, then when he sent us under in our indifferent century. And many a skeleton shook its head, instead of preaching 40 year. My neighbor parson thirdly said, I wish I had stuck to pipes and beer. Again the guns disturbed the hour, roaring their readiness to avenge, as far inland as Stourton Tower, and Camelot, and starlit Stonehenge. The convergence of the twain. Lines on the loss of the Titanic. 1. In a solitude of the sea, deep from human vanity, and the pride of life that planned her, stilly couches she. 2. Still chambers, late the pyres of her salamandrine fires. Cold currents thread and turn to rhythmic tidal lyres. 3. Over the mirrors meant to glass the opulent, the sea worm crawls, grotesque slime, dumb, indifferent. 4. Jewels enjoy design to ravish the sensuous mind, lie lightless, all their sparkles, bleared and black and blind. 5. Dim moon, eyed fishes near gaze at the gilded gear, and query, what does this vaingloriousness down here? 6. Well, while was fashioning this creature of cleaving wing, the immanent will that stirs and urges everything. 7. Prepared a sinister mate for her so gaily great, a shape of ice for the time far and dissociate. 8. And as the smart ship grew in stature, grace, and hue, in shadowy silent distance grew the iceberg too. 9. Alien they seemed to be, no mortal eye could see the intimate welding of their later history. 10. Our sign that they were bent by paths coincident, on being anon twine halves of one august event. 11. Till the spinner of the years said now, and each one hears, and consummation comes and jars two hemispheres. The year's awakening. How do you know that the pilgrim track along the belting zodiac, swept by the sun in his seeming rounds, is traced by now to the fish's bounds, and into the ram, when weeks of cloud have wrapped the sky in a clammy shroud, and never as yet a tinct of spring has shone in the earth's appareling? O vespering bird, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know, deep underground, hid in your bed from sight and sound, without a turn in temperature, with weather life can scarce endure, that light has won a fraction's strength, and day put on some moment's length, whereof in merest rote will come, weeks hence, mild airs that do not numb? O crocus root, how do you know? How do you know?